Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself weighed down by negative feelings, drained by toxic energy, or caught in a cycle of reacting to people and situations that don't serve your purpose? Life is too short, and your energy is too precious to be spent on things that hold you back. Today, I want to share a simple yet transformative approach to overcoming negativity. Don't react. Cut them off silently. This isn't about anger, resentment, or revenge. It's about reclaiming your peace, protecting your energy, and stepping into the best version of yourself. In a world full of noise and chaos, your silence can be your greatest power. It's not just about staying quiet. It's about choosing where to focus your attention and letting go of what no longer aligns with your growth. So let's dive in and explore how mastering this principle can help you break free from negativity and unlock a life of purpose, clarity, and fulfillment. Emotional discipline is the foundation for overcoming negative feelings and maintaining control over your life. It is the ability to manage your emotions effectively, regardless of what's happening around you. Most people live reactively, allowing external circumstances and the actions of others to dictate their mood, mindset, and overall state of being. But the truth is, your emotions should serve you, not control you. Mastering emotional discipline is about taking ownership of how you feel and how you respond. And in doing so, you reclaim your power. When negativity arises, the instinctive response for many is to react. Whether it's anger, frustration, or sadness, these reactions often come from a place of impulse rather than intention. But reacting emotionally to negativity not only drains your energy, but also feeds the very situation you wish to avoid. Imagine someone provoking you with harsh words or unjust behavior. If you react by arguing or retaliating, you've allowed their negativity to penetrate your peace. You've handed them the keys to your emotional well-being. Emotional discipline teaches you to pause in such moments, reflect, and choose your response, or to choose no response at all. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in emotional discipline. When you choose silence over reaction, you take control of the narrative. You show that your peace cannot be easily disturbed, that your sense of self is not dependent on the actions or opinions of others. Silence, however, is not passive. It's an active decision to prioritize your inner calm over external chaos. It's a declaration that you value your energy and refuse to waste it on things that do not matter in the long run. Cultivating emotional discipline requires self-awareness. You must become an observer of your own thoughts and feelings. Instead of being swept away by a wave of emotion, learn to step back and assess what's happening internally. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? Is this situation worth my energy? Often you'll find that the answers reveal how temporary and insignificant the triggers truly are. Emotional discipline gives you the clarity to recognize that most negative feelings stem from fleeting moments rather than lasting truths. One powerful way to strengthen emotional discipline is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you stay present and grounded, making it easier to resist reacting impulsively. When you are mindful, you become fully aware of your emotions without being controlled by them. This allows you to respond with intention, aligning your actions with your long-term goals and values rather than momentary frustrations. Another key aspect of emotional discipline is setting boundaries. This isn't just about saying no to others. It's also about saying no to behaviors and thoughts that harm your well-being. Boundaries create a protective space around your energy, ensuring that you are not constantly subjected to negativity. When you cut off toxic influences silently, you are not being cruel or unkind. You are simply honoring your need for peace and growth. Emotional discipline helps you enforce these boundaries without guilt or explanation, because you understand their importance to your mental and emotional health. Building emotional discipline is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that negativity doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging those feelings, understanding their source, and deciding how much influence they will have over your life. It's about learning to regulate your emotions so that they don't derail your progress or cloud your judgment. You may not be able to control the actions of others, but you always have control over your response. That is where your power lies. When you master emotional discipline, you develop resilience, the ability to stay calm, focused, and composed even in the face of adversity. You learn that no matter how chaotic the world around you may be, your inner world can remain steady. This steadiness becomes your anchor, guiding you through life's challenges with grace and strength. Ultimately, emotional discipline is a skill that elevates every aspect of your life. It allows you to navigate relationships with compassion and understanding, to make decisions with clarity and confidence, and to face challenges with courage and composure. It frees you from the cycle of reaction and empowers you to live intentionally. By mastering emotional discipline, you take the first and most important step toward overcoming negative feelings and creating a life defined by peace, purpose, and positivity. Identifying energy drainers is one of the most critical steps toward overcoming negative feelings and reclaiming your personal power. Energy drainers can take many forms. They might be people, environments, habits, or even your own thought patterns. These are the influences in your life that subtly or overtly sap your strength, weigh on your mind, and make it harder for you to focus on what truly matters. To protect your peace and align with your purpose, you must first recognize these negative forces and understand their impact. Often, the most pervasive energy drainers are the people around us. These individuals might be overly critical, manipulative, or simply negative in their outlook. They could be friends, family members, colleagues, or acquaintances. Their behavior might not always seem overtly harmful, but over time, their constant complaints, drama, or negativity can create an environment of stress and tension. When you leave interactions with certain people feeling exhausted or emotionally depleted, it's a clear sign that they are draining your energy. Recognizing energy draining people doesn't mean labeling them as bad or unworthy. It simply means acknowledging the effect they have on your well-being. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do they uplift you, inspire you, and support your growth? Or do they leave you feeling anxious, frustrated, or diminished? By answering these questions honestly, you can start to discern which relationships add value to your life and which ones detract from it. But it's not just people who can drain your energy. Certain environments can have the same effect. Cluttered spaces, chaotic workplaces, or toxic social settings can weigh heavily on your mind and body. These environments often carry a subtle but persistent negativity that erodes your focus and peace over time. For example, working in an office filled with gossip or spending time in spaces that feel disorganized and overwhelming can leave you feeling stuck and unmotivated. Becoming aware of these environmental factors is a crucial step in preserving your energy. Beyond external influences, habits and routines can also act as energy drainers. Procrastination, lack of sleep, poor diet, and overindulgence in social media or other distractions can leave you feeling mentally and physically depleted. These habits may seem harmless in the moment, but they often create a cycle of fatigue and dissatisfaction. The same goes for negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, fear, or constant criticism, you are sabotaging your own energy and potential. To identify energy drainers, you need to cultivate self-awareness. Start by paying attention to the patterns in your life. Which situations consistently leave you feeling tired, irritable, or drained? Which interactions or activities feel like a burden rather than a joy? Keep a journal or make mental notes of these moments and look for recurring themes. Awareness is the first step toward change, and by recognizing the sources of negativity in your life, you empower yourself to address them. Once you've identified energy drainers, the next step is to take action. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting people or things out of your life entirely, although that might be necessary in some cases. Sometimes setting boundaries is enough to protect your energy. For example, if a friend constantly complains and brings negativity into your conversations, you can gently redirect the dialogue or limit the time you spend with them. Similarly, if your workplace environment feels toxic, you might find ways to create a more positive bubble within that space or explore opportunities for change. For habits and thought patterns, the key is to replace what drains you with what fuels you. Swap procrastination for productive action, negative self-talk for affirmations, and distractions for activities that bring joy and fulfillment. Small, intentional changes in your daily routine can have a profound impact on your energy levels and overall well-being. It's important to remember that identifying energy drainers is not about judgment or blame. It's about prioritizing your well-being. You have the right to protect your energy and choose what you allow into your life. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create space for positivity, growth, and meaningful connections. The process of identifying and addressing energy drainers can feel uncomfortable at first. It requires honesty, courage, and a commitment to your own peace. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you free yourself from the influences that weigh you down, you gain clarity, strength, and the ability to focus fully on your goals and dreams. This is how you break free from negativity and step into a life of empowerment and purpose. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as simply the absence of sound. But true silence is far more profound. It's a tool for personal growth, a doorway to self-mastery, and a powerful response to the chaos of the world around you. In a society that values constant activity, noise, and external validation, silence has become a rare and underrated practice. Yet it is in silence that we find our deepest insights, cultivate inner peace, and sharpen our ability to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. When faced with negativity, silence becomes your strongest ally. Imagine being in a situation where someone is provoking you, whether through harsh words or actions that challenge your values. The natural impulse might be to respond immediately, to defend yourself, or to prove a point. However, in these moments, silence speaks louder than any argument could. It communicates that you are not easily swayed by the turbulence around you. It shows that you understand the futility of reacting to every provocation. This type of silence is not about indifference, but about making a conscious choice to preserve your energy, your time, and your focus. Choosing silence in the face of negativity is a deliberate act of self-discipline. It is a way to step outside of the situation and see it from a higher perspective. By not engaging in a knee-jerk reaction, you create space between the event and your response. In that space, you can observe the situation without becoming emotionally entangled in it. This gives you the clarity to assess whether it is worth your energy to respond at all, or whether it's better to let the situation pass without your involvement. Silence also serves as a tool for personal growth because it allows you to tune into your inner wisdom. In a world full of distractions and noise, it can be difficult to hear your own thoughts and desires. But when you embrace silence, you create the conditions for self-reflection. You allow yourself the time and space to connect with your core values, your aspirations, and your sense of purpose. In those quiet moments, you can recalibrate and reconnect with what truly matters, rather than being pulled in 100 different directions by external pressures. In silence, you begin to hear the whispers of your intuition, the subtle guidance that directs you toward the best decisions for your life. It's in the stillness that you tap into your inner strength, your resilience, and your creativity. These moments of quietude give you the opportunity to access the deeper parts of yourself that might otherwise remain unnoticed. It's through silence that you cultivate awareness, not only of the world around you, but of your own thoughts and reactions. This awareness is the key to breaking free from negative feelings and thought patterns, as it helps you identify when you are being influenced by outside sources and when you are aligned with your true self. Another profound benefit of silence is its ability to foster emotional control. When you choose to remain silent instead of reacting emotionally, you break the cycle of impulsive behavior that often leads to regret. Silence gives you the time to collect your thoughts, to process your emotions, and to respond in a way that is thoughtful and intentional. By pausing before reacting, you allow yourself to choose how you want to engage with the world, rather than simply being a passenger to your emotional impulses. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience and self-mastery, which are essential for overcoming negative feelings. Furthermore, silence is a form of setting boundaries. When you cut someone off silently by simply choosing not to engage or by withdrawing your energy, you communicate that you will no longer tolerate negativity in your life. This is not about confrontation, but about protecting your peace and preserving your emotional resources. The power of silence lies in its ability to assert your needs without causing drama or conflict. It shows that you value your energy and that you are no longer willing to invest in relationships or situations that drain you. Silence also promotes deeper listening. In conversations, we often feel the urge to speak, to offer advice, or to solve problems. But silence allows for true listening, not just to respond, but to understand. When we listen deeply, without rushing to fill the gaps with words, we create space for others to express themselves fully. This leads to more meaningful and productive conversations and helps us build stronger connections with others. In the end, silence is not the absence of activity, it is the presence of clarity. It allows us to clear away the distractions, the noise, and the clutter in our minds and our lives so that we can move forward with intention and purpose. It is through silence that we grow, not only as individuals, but as compassionate, centered beings who are not easily swayed by external negativity. By embracing silence as a tool for growth, you empower yourself to respond to life's challenges with wisdom, strength, and grace, rather than falling victim to emotional turmoil. Through this practice, you reclaim your peace and your power, one moment of stillness at a time. Focusing on inner alignment is one of the most powerful ways to overcome negative feelings and create a life filled with clarity, purpose, and peace. Inner alignment refers to being in harmony with your true self, your values, your goals, and your vision for your life. It's about creating a state of congruence between who you are on the inside and what you express on the outside. When you are aligned with your authentic self, you naturally feel more centered, focused, and empowered. However, when there is a disconnect between your inner truth and your external circumstances, it often leads to frustration, confusion, and negative emotions. The root of negative feelings often lies in misalignment. This could mean that you are living a life that doesn't reflect your deepest desires, or that you are pursuing goals that are not truly yours but are shaped by external expectations or societal pressures. When you are out of alignment, you might experience feelings of emptiness, dissatisfaction, and even resentment. You might find yourself constantly reacting to the outside world rather than responding with clarity and purpose. This disconnection creates internal tension and manifests as stress, anxiety, or frustration. Achieving inner alignment requires deep self-awareness and introspection. It begins with understanding who you truly are at your core, what excites you, what drives you, and what makes you feel fulfilled. It involves connecting with your inner desires and passions and being honest about your needs and aspirations. When you take the time to reflect on these elements, you begin to see where you might be out of sync with your authentic self. This could involve acknowledging that you're living according to someone else's vision for your life, or that you're holding on to outdated beliefs that no longer serve your well-being. Once you've gained clarity on your true self, it's important to take action to align your external world with your internal truth. This requires making choices that reflect your values and goals. For example, if you have a deep passion for creativity but have been working in a job that doesn't fulfill you, you might need to reassess your career path. If you've been suppressing your need for self-care, you might need to set boundaries and prioritize your mental and physical health. Aligning your actions with your inner truth is not always easy, but it's essential for creating a life that feels genuine and purposeful. Alignment also means learning to trust your intuition. Often negative feelings arise when we ignore the subtle guidance of our inner voice. When you are disconnected from your true self, you may make decisions that feel wrong or out of alignment with who you are. But when you practice tuning into your intuition, you begin to make choices that feel effortless, natural, and in flow with your deeper purpose. Trusting your inner guidance allows you to navigate life's challenges with confidence, knowing that you are always moving in the direction of your highest good. To maintain inner alignment, it's crucial to stay connected with your personal values. These are the principles that guide your decisions, behaviors, and interactions with others. When you live in accordance with your values, you feel at peace with yourself and your choices. However, when you compromise your values or ignore them, it leads to a sense of inner conflict. For example, if honesty is one of your core values, but you find yourself in situations where you feel compelled to lie or hide the truth, this creates a disconnect that leads to negative emotions. Regularly check in with your values and make sure that your actions reflect what is most important to you. Another key to staying aligned is learning to let go of distractions and influences that pull you off course. The world is filled with noise, opinions, judgments, and external pressures that can easily cloud your sense of self. To stay true to your inner alignment, you must learn to filter out what does not serve you and focus on what brings you peace and clarity. This might involve limiting your exposure to negative influences, whether they are people, media, or environments that create confusion or self-doubt. It's also important to embrace the practice of mindfulness to stay in alignment with your inner self. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware, allowing you to notice when you're drifting away from your true self. It allows you to catch negative thoughts or behaviors before they have a chance to derail your peace. By practicing mindfulness, you become more attuned to your needs and desires in real time, making it easier to make decisions that align with your authentic self. Focusing on inner alignment is an ongoing journey, not a one-time event. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a commitment to personal growth. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you are aligned with your true self, life flows more effortlessly. You begin to attract opportunities, people, and experiences that are in harmony with who you are. Negative feelings diminish because you are no longer caught in the conflict between your inner truth and the external world. Instead, you create a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment that is a true reflection of your highest potential. Replacing reaction with redirection is a powerful strategy for overcoming negative feelings and taking control of your emotional state. Often we react to situations based on impulse, habits, or patterns established over time, especially when faced with conflict, stress, or negativity. These automatic reactions are typically emotional and come from a place of external influence. However, when we learn to redirect our energy and focus, we shift from being passive recipients of circumstances to active creators of our response. This shift can transform how we interact with the world and, more importantly, how we maintain our inner peace. Reactivity is rooted in automatic behavior. It's when our emotions take over and we respond in ways that we later regret. For example, if someone insults you, your immediate reaction might be to retaliate or defend yourself. Or if a situation doesn't go as planned, you might quickly feel frustration, anger, or anxiety. These reactions come from the subconscious mind, where your old patterns and beliefs reside, and they usually only fuel negativity. However, by replacing reaction with redirection, you break free from these old habits and become more intentional with how you approach life. Redirection, in contrast, involves choosing where to focus your energy. Instead of reacting to the external world in a way that drains you or escalates conflict, you redirect that energy towards something constructive, positive, or self-empowering. Rather than responding to negativity with more negativity, redirection involves consciously shifting your attention to something that aligns with your values and goals, or even taking a step back to process the situation with clarity before deciding how to proceed. For example, if someone at work makes a snide comment about you, instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, redirection would involve pausing, taking a deep breath, and choosing to respond calmly or choosing to not respond at all. You might redirect your focus to a task that is meaningful to you, or use the opportunity to reflect on why their words triggered such a strong reaction. This allows you to avoid being swept up in the moment and empowers you to maintain control over your emotions. Redirecting your energy also means aligning your actions with your higher purpose and long-term goals. When you react, you often engage in behaviors that are short-term and emotionally driven. But redirection involves a conscious choice to engage in actions that move you forward in a more meaningful and productive direction. For example, if you're facing a challenging situation that causes frustration, instead of reacting by complaining or spiraling into negative thought patterns, redirection would involve channeling that frustration into positive action, such as working on a personal project, learning something new, or taking a break to reset. This redirection not only helps you handle negative emotions, but also creates momentum toward growth. Another form of redirection involves reframing negative situations. Instead of allowing negative thoughts to dominate your mind, redirect your focus by changing how you interpret the situation. Reframing allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. For instance, if you fail at something or experience a setback, instead of reacting with disappointment or defeat, redirect your thoughts toward the lessons you can learn from the experience. View it as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. This shift in perspective helps you see the bigger picture and prevents you from getting caught up in temporary feelings of frustration or helplessness. Redirecting also applies to your internal dialogue. Often we react to external events based on the stories we tell ourselves about those events. For example, if you get a critical comment, you might immediately react by thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess up." But instead of reacting with self-doubt, redirection involves challenging those negative thoughts and replacing them with more empowering beliefs. You might redirect your internal dialogue to thoughts like, "This is an opportunity to improve," or "I am constantly growing and learning." This practice of redirecting your thoughts shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. One of the most effective ways to practice redirection is through mindfulness and self-awareness. When you are mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, you can more easily identify when you're being triggered. This awareness gives you the space to pause and choose a more empowering response. It helps you catch yourself before you react impulsively, giving you the ability to redirect your focus towards something that supports your well-being. In relationships, redirection can also be a powerful tool. Instead of engaging in conflict or heated arguments, you can redirect the conversation toward understanding and solution-based dialogue. If someone is upset with you, rather than reacting defensively, redirect the interaction by listening deeply, acknowledging their feelings, and seeking a constructive solution. This not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also strengthens your ability to remain calm and focused, regardless of the external circumstances. Replacing reaction with redirection is a mindset shift that can dramatically change the way you experience life. It allows you to take control of your emotional responses, create more peace in your relationships, and stay aligned with your true goals and values. When you redirect negative feelings, you transform them into opportunities for growth, learning, and resilience. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, until eventually it's no longer a choice, it's your default way of engaging with the world. This is how you take charge of your emotional state and begin to live a life that is more intentional, empowered, and fulfilling. The power of letting go is one of the most transformative practices for overcoming negative feelings and creating a life filled with peace, clarity, and emotional freedom. Letting go is not about giving up, it's about releasing the emotional weight, attachments, and limiting beliefs that hold you back from living your full potential. It is an act of surrender and acceptance, allowing you to move forward with more ease and openness. When you let go, you stop carrying unnecessary burdens that drain your energy, freeing yourself to embrace the present moment and the possibilities that lie ahead. Many of us struggle with letting go because we hold on to past experiences, people, or emotions that no longer serve us. These attachments can take many forms: resentments, regrets, fears, and even old dreams that we no longer align with. We might hold on to anger from past wrongs, guilt for mistakes we've made, or fear of the unknown. The idea of letting go can feel difficult because on some level we fear that without these attachments we might lose a part of ourselves or our sense of identity. But in reality, holding on to these negative feelings only creates inner turmoil and stagnation. Letting go begins with acknowledging that holding on to certain things is keeping you stuck. When you refuse to release the past, whether it's an old relationship, a painful event, or a long-held belief, you continue to relive those emotions in the present moment. These past experiences, while they may have been significant at one point, no longer have any power over you unless you continue to give them that power. By holding on to negative emotions or situations, you remain emotionally tethered to them, allowing them to define your thoughts, actions, and overall state of being. One of the first steps in letting go is forgiving yourself and others. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning harmful behavior or forgetting the past. However, forgiveness is an act of freeing yourself from the grip of negativity. It is a choice to stop allowing someone else's actions to control your emotional state. When you forgive, you let go of resentment, bitterness, and anger. You release the emotional charge attached to the memory, enabling you to move forward with peace. Forgiving yourself involves the same process letting go of guilt, shame, and self-blame. You recognize that the past is behind you and you choose to learn from it rather than continue carrying it. Another crucial element of letting go is releasing the need for control. Life is unpredictable, And while we may want to control every detail, the truth is that we cannot dictate the outcome of every situation. The need to control often stems from fear of uncertainty, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. However, when we try to control everything, we place unnecessary stress on ourselves and create resistance to the flow of life. Letting go means trusting that everything is unfolding as it should, even if it's not how we envision it. It's about surrendering the need for perfection and embracing the beauty of life's unpredictability. Letting go also involves releasing attachment to outcomes. We may have a vision for our lives, but when we become overly attached to a specific outcome, we close ourselves off to the possibilities that life has to offer. If things don't go exactly as planned, we may feel disappointed or defeated. However, by releasing attachment to the outcome and staying open to the journey, we allow space for new opportunities to arise. This doesn't mean we stop having goals or aspirations. It means we let go of the rigidity of needing things to unfold in a particular way. Instead, we embrace the process and trust that whatever happens is for our highest good. The power of letting go also extends to negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Many people hold on to deeply ingrained thoughts about their worth or abilities, often based on past experiences or societal conditioning. These beliefs become the lens through which they view themselves in the world. Letting go of these limiting beliefs is an essential step in overcoming negative feelings. It means replacing the stories we tell ourselves about not being good enough, smart enough, or deserving enough with empowering beliefs that support our growth and potential. When you let go of self-doubt and fear, you create space for self-love, confidence, and possibility. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help facilitate the process of letting go. These practices encourage present moment awareness, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without attachment. By cultivating a mindful approach, you can better recognize when you're holding on to something that no longer serves you and consciously choose to release it. Meditation provides a space of stillness where you can connect with your inner self and create a sense of detachment from the chaos of the external world. Letting go also involves creating healthy boundaries with people and situations that drain your energy. Sometimes we hold on to toxic relationships or environments out of a sense of obligation or fear of conflict. However, by letting go of these negative influences, we reclaim our energy and prioritize our well-being. This may involve distancing yourself from people who bring negativity or emotional turmoil into your life. Setting boundaries allows you to preserve your peace and focus on what truly matters to you. The act of letting go is ultimately an act of self-liberation. When you release the emotional baggage and attachments that weigh you down, you make room for new experiences, growth, and joy. You free yourself from the limitations of the past and step into the present moment with a sense of openness and possibility. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength, courage, and wisdom. It's about trusting that by releasing what no longer serves you, you make space for the new, the better, and the more aligned version of your life to emerge.